Good morning, students. So today we will read about the 7 continents of the world. There are 7 major continents. These are separated by large water bodies. These continents are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. Look at the map of the world, figure 5.1, and notice that the greater part of the land mass lies in the northern hemisphere. So children, there are 7 major continents in the world. How many continents are there? 7. And their names are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe and lastly Australia. So all these continents, they are not connected. They are not connected, they are separated with the water bodies. So all the 7 continents, they are separated with the water bodies. Now children, if you see figure 5.1, that is this map, you will see that a greater or a major portion of the landmass lies in the northern hemisphere. We all know that equator is the line which is drawn in the middle. So from North Pole till equator is northern hemisphere and from equator till the South Pole is southern hemisphere. So if you look carefully, maximum portion of landmass is present in the northern hemisphere and a very little portion of landmass lies in the southern hemisphere. Okay, so now we will move to our first continent, which is Asia. Asia is the largest continent. It covers about 1/3 of the total land area of the earth. The continent lies in the eastern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent. Then Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural Mountains on the west. The combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called the Eurasia. So children, Asia is the biggest continent of the world and it covers 1/3 of the total land area which is present on the earth. So wherever land is present on the earth, Asia itself covers 1/3 of that total portion. That means Asia is a very huge continent. Also children, Asia lies in the eastern hemisphere. If you see here, Asia is the one which is colored in yellow color. So Asia lies on the eastern side in the world and you can see very clearly that Tropic of Cancer is passing through the Asia. Then Ural Mountains. You can see here a very small red line is there. So this red line shows Ural Mountain and this red line or Ural Mountains is separating Asia from Europe. So Ural Mountains separates Asia from Europe and lastly the combined landmass means together the landmass of Europe and Asia is known as Eurasia. Eurasia means Europe plus Asia. So the combined landmass of Europe and Asia is known as Eurasia. Okay, so this is about Asia. Now we will move to Europe. So Europe is much smaller than Asia. The continent lies to the west of Asia. The Arctic Circle passes through it. It is bound by water bodies on 3 sides. Look at the map of the world and locate it. So children, this purple colored landmass is Europe. So Europe is a very small continent when compared to Asia in terms of size. So Europe is a small continent, and Europe is towards the west of Asia. So Europe is on the western side of Asia. And Arctic Circle, children, Arctic Circle, which is also an important parallel of latitude, passes through Europe. And children, lastly, Europe is bounded or surrounded by water bodies on three sides. It is surrounded by Arctic Ocean in the north, Atlantic Ocean is on the west, and Mediterranean Sea is on the south. So in this way, Europe is surrounded by water bodies on three sides. Now we will move to the third continent, which is Africa. So Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. The equator or the 0-degree latitude runs almost through the middle of the continent. A large part of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere. Look at figure 5.1. You will find that it is the only continent through which Tropic of Cancer, Equator and Tropic of Capricorn pass. So children, Africa is the second largest continent after Asia, and equator, which is also known as the 0-degree latitude, it passes through the center of Africa. You can see here children, this green colored landmass in the center is Africa, and equator is passing through the center of Africa. And children, maximum portion of Africa or maximum part of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere, and a very small part of Africa lies in the southern hemisphere. Now one more thing children, Africa is the only continent through which the three important parallels of latitude, that is Tropic of Cancer, Equator and Tropic of Capricorn passes. So Africa is the only continent which has got all the three lines of latitudes passing through them. Then the Sahara Desert, the world's largest hot desert, is located in Africa. The continent is bound on all sides by ocean and seas. Look at the world map, figure 5.1. You will notice that the world's longest river, the Nile, flows through Africa. Notice where the equator, Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn pass in the map of Africa. So children, Africa has the world's largest hot desert, which is known as the Sahara Desert. So Africa has the world's largest hot desert. Then it also has the world's longest river, which is River Nile. So in terms of length, River Nile is the longest river. And at last, Africa is surrounded on all sides by ocean and seas. So this much is about Africa. Now next continent is North America. So North America is the third largest continent of the world. It is linked to South America by a very narrow strip of land called Isthmus of Panama. The continent lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere. Three oceans surround this continent. Can you name these three oceans? So children, North America is the third largest continent in the world, and North America is linked or connected to South America through a very narrow strip of land which is known as Isthmus of Panama. So children, the definition of isthmus is that it is a narrow strip of land that joins two land masses. So the isthmus which joins North America to South America is known as Isthmus of Panama. Also children, if you see here, North America lies completely in the northern hemisphere. It lies completely in the northern hemisphere, and it is on the western side. So it is on the northern and western hemisphere. Now there are three oceans which surrounds North America. It is Arctic Ocean on the north, Atlantic Ocean on the east and Pacific Ocean on the west. So these are the three oceans which surround North America. Okay, so we have completed this page. Now we will move to next page. Next is South America. So South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere. Which two oceans surround it on the east and west? The Andes, world's longest mountain range, runs through its length from north to south. South America has world's largest river, the Amazon. So children, South America mostly lies in the southern hemisphere. Means only a little bit area lies in the northern hemisphere, but mostly South America, it lies in the southern hemisphere. And the two oceans which surround South America on the east and west are, on west it is surrounded by Pacific Ocean and on east it is surrounded by Atlantic Ocean. As you can see here, on the west Pacific Ocean is there, on the east Atlantic Ocean is there. So Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean surrounds South America on the west and on the east side. Then there are two important things, children, which is there in South America. Firstly, children, you have Andes, which is the world's longest mountain range. So Andes, which is the world's longest mountain range, also lies in South America, and world's largest river, that is Amazon, it also lies in South America. So both Andes, which is the world's longest chain of mountain, and Amazon, which is the world's largest river, it lies in South America. Next continent is Australia. So Australia is the smallest continent that lies entirely in southern hemisphere. It is surrounded on all sides by ocean and sea. It is called an island continent. So children, Australia is the smallest continent in the world and it is completely located in the southern hemisphere. Also children, Australia is known as an island continent because it is surrounded by ocean and seas on all sides. So children, therefore Australia is called an island continent. Lastly, we will read about Antarctica. Antarctica, completely in the southern hemisphere, is a huge continent. The South Pole lies almost at the center of this continent. As it is located in the South Polar region, it is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. There are no permanent human settlements. Many countries have research stations in Antarctica. India also has research stations there. These are named as Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. So children, like Australia, Antarctica is also completely lies in the southern hemisphere, and South Pole lies almost in the middle of Antarctica. So you have South Pole in the center of Antarctica. Then, as you know, both the polar regions, means the North Pole and the South Pole, is completely covered with ice. So Antarctica is also covered with ice and snow. And since the climate is very cold, that is why there are no permanent human settlement. That means people do not live permanently in Antarctica. So, however, many countries have their research stations in Antarctica. Research station means research centers. So, India also has two research stations or center in Antarctica, that is Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. So these are the names of the two Indian research stations which are there in Antarctica. Okay children, so today we will read about the continents only, and in the next class we will learn about the hydrosphere. Please learn the portion or revise the portion which we have taught which I have taught today, and I will see you in the next class. Thank you children.